We've reached the final module, and you've learned a lot by now. Module 5 gives you a chance to tie it all together by thinking about strategies that support overall well-being and how to create and maintain a safe and supportive environment. And we've saved one of the most important topics for last, how to take care of yourself, the caregiver. Please pause the DVD and read Module 5 now. When you're finished, click the Start button to go on with the DVD. This final segment with our experts is focused on your needs and well-being. They'll now share with you some of the rewards and joys of their work and what they do when they need a break.
Well, I think the whole thing has been, the time has been rewarding. I mean, we've made it 40 years, you know, so that's an accomplishment. I mean, some people, they play golf, they have different hobbies, they work on old cars, and this is certainly not a hobby with us, but it's a vocation that we've invested in, and we made it this far.
My most rewarding experience was when I took care of her for a couple of months, and then family called and told me, okay, we see a great change in her. She's doing so well. And her family told me, her dad told me, her physician told me, and even her care manager, where she goes for daycare, they called me and told me, okay, she is doing so wonderful, because she seemed like a new person.
Well, certainly for me, it's from being told, turn off the life support to see Eric playing sports. You know, for being told he will never walk, he will never talk, he will never eat, and like almost feeling like if you don't do what this person tells you, you're kind of dumb if you don't turn this off, because must be something wrong with you. And if you're stubborn enough and hang in there, there's rewards by seeing the person getting better, you know.
Some of the best things when we've had conversations is, I remember one time him saying that he wouldn't have gotten to the point that he's at now if I hadn't helped him while he was going through rehab.
You know, it's been the gamut of, you know, really wonderful, wonderful feelings, like, you know, like you're happy you can do anything and make my son's life better, to feeling exhausted and like, you know, what am I going to do? I can't do this anymore. So, huge gamut of feelings.
In the morning, there's a YMCA club here. So at 9 in the morning, I'm a member, I'm in the pool. So 1 hour I'm swimming in the water, and I think I feel so great. So that's my stress reliever. So when I come back at 10 o'clock, and after I swim, I feel so great. I'm ready to take the challenge.
When it gets really, really super tough, I do sometimes do a stretch and say, joy. You have to concentrate on the word. It doesn't have to be joy. It can be whatever. It can be just a number. And stretch, because when you say it, you kind of have to concentrate what you're saying. And you have those few minutes to kind of let go of things. It's almost kind of like maybe yoga.
Not one person can do this. It's a family effort or a group effort. It has to be not just one person, because it will, you know, it'll burn out the one caregiver. It needs to be an entire family that steps in and helps the person with the brain injury because of the frustration of the way they used to be and the way they are now. It just gives you your life back for even for a few hours, to help you kind of regroup and have the patience with your loved one that had the brain injury.
Well, you know, you absolutely need to find something to take care of yourself. And I do have those things. Sometimes when I leave here, I go immediately to a movie. And that's one of the things that I found way back when he was in the hospital and when he was in a long-term rehab program. Sometimes being there in that first year was really stressful because he was really confused and really got agitated. Sometimes didn't know where he was. In the first, I would say, 6 months, he wasn't really aware of where he was. And there was some very interesting, I will say, when looking back at it, experiences with that. But anyway, we got through it, But I would feel so stressed when I left the hospital, and I kept thinking, what can I do to, like, just decompress. And it was to stop and see a movie. I would go to a 10 o'clock movie at night if I could find one and just sit there and forget about everything. And, I would feel much better when I left. And I still do the same thing, because I find it works the best, and it's something you can do by yourself, spur of the moment. You don't have to make plans with other people. I just go by myself.
In the beginning, I couldn't really go out too far because of the care that he needed, but now that he's able to do things on his own, it's kind of if I leave something for him to eat, or if he has something for dinner, then he's okay, so that I can go out and do something a little bit more.
Another thing is we've met a lot of great people along the way, particularly in the support group. There's some really great people. I guess I've never met a survivor or caregiver that I didn't like. That they're just great people.
And I do have to admit that I enjoy a lot of the sport activities he goes to, because I help out with soccer, and I do keep the score at bowling, and I am the caddy at golf. That's why I'm kind of one-sided. But I get to walk a lot there, and walking is another good thing. So, walking and laughing.
Sometimes I will do gardening, and I will involve my residents, show them what I'm doing. Or sometimes I'm cutting the grass or doing some work outside. So sometimes I get them involved. They can look what I'm doing. Just like work around the house. Some kind of activity like I like to watch.
Now that Eric does belong to some groups, like on a Wednesday night, I have 2 hours, almost 2 hours with another mother. So then we sometimes just complain. No, we talk about whatever comes to mind. And if they happen to have in this group, if we're very lucky, then they have a barbecue or a potluck or something in the group, and we actually get to eat somewhere, wherever we want to. And we can even share a glass of wine. One glass together.
And so I think I'm a lot different at my work, because like I said, I work in a law enforcement place, and I don't feel the stress from the job as much as some people do, because it's not going to bother me tomorrow. When I get into work the next day, there's going to be different cases to handle and different things to do, and paperwork that I have to complete. But the major things, even what some people might think are major, are no longer major to me. Because major to me is my husband going to live? And if he does, what kind of life is he going to have? That's major. And so most daily problems are just trivial. And that's been the biggest change with me.
I maintain a lot of friendships and try to see my friends as much as I can. I started having a all-girls night at my house about once every 4 months or so, because I had trouble seeing everybody because I just didn't have the time. So everybody decided that they would bring food if I had it at my house. So we have a great time, and we do this about every 4 or 5 months.
You need to learn how to let go of things. Like I said, for me, housework, because I used to like it like in a hospital, everything very, very clean, and I just, okay, I'm too tired now for cleaning this dust. I'm gonna sit down with him and watch a TV show, and also take shortcuts with cooking, and it's just kind of, you have to do that. You really have to do that, because you cannot tire yourself out so much. You won't be of any help to somebody else when you can take care of yourself.
Congratulations, you've completed this caregiver course on traumatic brain injury. I hope you're excited about trying some of the ideas you learned today. Keep in mind that there's a lot we still don't know about the brain, and new discoveries are being made every day. You might want to make a habit of looking for books, videos, or news articles about TBI at your local library or on your computer, just to stay informed, especially when you're facing a problem and looking for a new approach. You may also want to review the manual and DVD from time to time, especially when you run across new challenges or as the person you're caring for begins a new phase of recovery. And remember, while the knowledge and attitude of medical specialists and survivors obviously are important, it's you, the caregivers, who provide the daily support and foundation we need to rebuild our lives. On behalf of all survivors of brain injury, the stars of our film and I want to thank you for all you do for us each and every day. For more information, contact Washington State Aging and Disability Services Administration.